and gentlemen, welcome to day 2 of Geek Hard's coverage of Fan Expo Canada 2013.
This is good turkey. It's a little crunchy,
we're
though.
hanging out in the Hobbit hole. We're hanging out with some
turkey.
dwarves. Mr. Green's enjoying some lovely turkey.
It's good times. Hey, you should have some.
This stuff gets stuck in my teeth, man.
Really?
But we've got some great interviews and special events coming your way.
And there's hobbits.
There are
that's
hobbits.
A dwarf. Sorry, that's a dwarf.
There are dwarfs. There's
on
Mr.
the other side.
Green.
Why
and
am I here?
There is Fan Expo Canada. Stay tuned.
Hanging out with DC Comics superstar David Finch, local Canadian boy, back in Toronto finally. How you doing this weekend, David?
I'm great. Yeah, it's really good to be here. I'm from Windsor.
Yep.
So this is about, I want to say 3.5 hours away, but once you factor in traffic, it's 5 hours.
Yeah, it's a long drive. But
Yeah, but it's always nice. I'm here, once a year really for the show, so it's always good to come back.
Awesome. Now I want to talk to you about breaking into comics. How you got your start? How'd that come about?
I drew in my mother's basement for about 2 years, which I think is about how every comic artist starts, really. And I showed samples around a couple of conventions. Detroit, I found a small convention, I want to say Chicago, and then I went to New York with samples, and I ran into David Wohl at Top Cow. He was the editor there at the time, and Mark Silvestri was my biggest influence. So, Top Cow was kind of a good fit for me. I didn't think that they would touch me, though. They were, Image was like, at the time, that was like the pinnacle. All the best artists went there, and I had no idea that they were looking for young artists.
Yeah.
So, and I really wasn't ready. I didn't know at the time just how raw I was, but they brought me in. I got a 3-month internship, and I think I scraped by. It took me a long time really to get comfortable and to start to find my own way. And but yeah, it was a great learning environment. Mark Silvestri is a very patient, good teacher.
And he's a super awesome dude.
He sure is. I
just got to meet him back in June.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of the things I find funny about Top Cow, it seems, is like he told a story about Michael Turner, and he says Michael Turner couldn't draw. He couldn't draw. He brought me a building, and it looked like a loaf of bread, so I gave him a book, sent him on his way. He comes back with an amazing drawing.
Yeah.
So it seems like, he's able to spot that talent there,
Yeah, I have to say, I remember I started about 2 months before Mike Turner, and Mark needed a background guy really badly. And the only time I was ever there that they looked through the mailed-in submissions, they found Mike's stuff, and I was like, I don't know, I didn't like it, and Mark loved it, and yeah, he knew what he was looking at, and it's absolutely true. I remember the day Mike drew his first. I was there. I watched Mark show him just a couple little lines, and Mike came back, and it was amazing. We hated him.
Yeah.
He's such a great. Mike Turner is like, such an incredibly positive, great guy.
Yeah.
But he was so talented that it was tough. I sat beside him for a long time, and he just blew up so fast. And I think actually it was a really positive thing for my career, because I had this guy to try and keep up with, you know. And so it was really, it pushed all of us.
So we are here once again at Fan Expo, and we are here by Stan Lee, the legendary Stan Lee's line. And of course, big famous celebrities like Stan Lee, they don't want to come unprepared. They got to bring their own security. And here is Mr. Lee's security right here, Dr. Doomkitty, aka Ivy Doomkitty. Welcome to Toronto.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so what have the lines been like today?
They've been ridiculous. The lines are huge. They just seem to never end. But, Stan's having a great time. I think that's what matters. And the fans are having a great time, so.
Of course, fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, have you had to dispense of any unruly characters who have tried to get too close to Stan?
I have. I have to unleash my Doombots every now and then to, go ahead and make sure everybody stays ruly.
Of course.
Or everybody doesn't get unruly, I should say.
Unruly, semantics, really. Now, the thing I always find interesting about your particular Doombots is that they kind of look like robot Hello Kitties, which is it's kind of freaky. It really is. That actually is scarier than a big like android coming at you. You got these little Hello Kitty things with gigantic heads coming at you with like laser beam eyes. That's pretty scary. I want to know, how did you construct such an amazing device?
Well, if I told you, then you might make something like that. And if you made something like that, then I may have to kill you.
All right, fair enough. Well, apparently you think that I have as much money as all of Latveria, but I can assure you I don't. Now, is there any way you could show us a little bit of like, you know, just your simple kung fu type action to take out one of these, you know, like somebody tries to come to assassinate Stan and there's no Doombots around. What do you do just to take them out?
Oh, simple. Just this.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what? Here's the thing. It looks like there's no like pain coming through it, but I'm slow. All my life is being drained and I don't want to touch Stan anymore, which is kind of weird to say, you know, like touching Stan. It's like there are some guys who want to do it. They come up and they're like, "Can I touch you?" And he's like, "Well, sure, okay." But yeah, no, I want to thank you for doing such a good job for protecting Stan, keeping him safe for all us fanboys out there, and of course, you're online.
Yes, I
Where
am.
can people check out Ivy Doomkitty?
It's easy to find me on Facebook. Just type in Ivy Doomkitty. Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, whole 9 yards. Find me on there.
All right, fantastic. Check her out. She's doing us a great service here.
Hey there, I'm here with Kalman Andrasofszky.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well done.
Whew. All right, that's
stressful, wasn't it?
That was. It's been stressing me out for the last 20 minutes.
This is the high point. It's not going to get any
Yeah.
better than this. You might as well go home now.
Oh, okay, fine.
On a high note. There. Boom, out. Drop the mic.
So yeah, I just wanted to catch up with you because earlier today I was at the Captain Canuck panel.
Representing.
Oh yeah, bro.
Nice.
And I believe this is kind of familiar. This little.
That is a drawing that I drawed.
Yes. So we got to see episode 2.
We did. I saw it too. I was there. It was
You were
epic.
there?
I was, yeah. There was some confusion, but I was there.
You were. Oh, okay.
I was in the audience enjoying it along with everybody.
Nice, nice.
Hopefully enjoying it along with everybody. I mean, I'm not hopeful. I know I enjoyed it. I'm hoping everyone else did too.
Well, I was going to say is that to me it seemed like the audience really dug into it. It was like it seemed really that there was a packed house. First of all, I was quite impressed.
I almost was not let into the panel of the thing that I
Really?
worked on. Yeah, I was. Yeah, and yeah, all the seats were filled and people standing in the back.
Right.
And it was one of the bigger panel rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to like talk up my thing, but I'm going to talk up my thing. I didn't know what to expect. That was huge.
Yeah,
I was amazed that so many people were excited about the new episode.
Yeah, so like that must make you feel great as the artist, right? Like knowing that like obviously there's other people involved being
There's
animated.
a lot of other people involved. I mean, I'm just the character designer of that, so I have no direct part to play in the actual creation of the animation or anything.
Right.
But all the artists that are animating it are working from my designs. So
Right.
there's definitely me on almost every frame.
Yeah.
It's extremely validating to see that.
Yeah.
Even though my part is, just a small part.
Yeah, but it's pretty. You know what I have to say? Like
I'm a much bigger part of that shirt than I am
Yeah.
of the animation because
And
there's
this
way
is
more people involved.
This is a new this new version is very iconic, very cool.
Thank you.
Honestly, I have to say that it wasn't until this project came up that like I'd heard of Captain Canuck, like most Canadians. You kind of, and it's
That
been-
was sort of for me too. I had an impression. I had
Right.
a cover in my head, but I hadn't been a reader of the stuff when I was a kid.
Well, I actually with my co-host, I got into it because I mistakenly thought that Vindicator was Captain Canuck for years.
We get that a lot.
Yeah.
We get that a lot. Like a lot of people see that and go, "Oh, new Alpha Flight." Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of American flag-wearing heroes that look like Captain America.
Right.
There's a few British flag-wearing heroes that look like Captain Britain or Union Jack, depending on your
Right.
age. So it's understandable. It's the same
Right.
elements, you know.
Yeah, no, and it's really cool. Like, 'cause, it was something that they talked about in the panel was we've got a character now that represents Canada.
Yeah.
That a Canadian superhero. Like our own Captain America, our own Superman, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're part of that. Like you're part of this. This is.
I guess I am.
Like especially now with the new Canuck. Especially you're linked forever now. Your name will always go down in history. Like
I'm very proud to be a part of it. And
that's pretty big.
In terms of like the next phase of my career, this is something I'm very committed to. I've invested a lot of energy. I mean, above and beyond just designing the characters. Me writing this isn't completely out of left field. There was a lot of brainstorming. There was a lot of collaboration all along the way.
Right.
That, you can't design how someone looks without thinking about who he is and why he looks that way.
Right.
There's a lot of conversation between the producers and I all along. It's always been very collaborative, very simpatico. Right. So there's a rapport and a kind of a working model in place between us all that's already been working. So that kind of arose out of that. I'm super chuffed to be a part of it. And unlike Wolverine or Vindicator or other Canadian heroes, I mean, Captain Canuck is Canadian product through and through.
Right.
He's invented by Canadians. He's been published by Canadians. It's a true homegrown product. Excellent. And everyone involved in the new one, too.
Cool.